Mr. McCauley, appreciate you. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the April 21st, 2025 regular meeting for the Hartford School Building Committee. First item on the agenda is roll call. Mr. Little, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Paul Drummond.
Present.
Ms. Sherry Davis-Gould.
Present.
T.J. Clark, second. Councilman T.J. Clark. Mr. Al Gary.
Present.
Edison Silva. Mr. Clarence Corbin.
Present.
Ms. Shantae Browdy.
Present.
Okay, we've already been notified by both Jennifer and Corey that they would not be able to attend.
Thank you, Mr. Little. With four, we have a quorum, so we'll move on to the next.
Yeah, with four. I'm sorry, with four members present, we have a quorum.
You're good, Tony. Thanks. Item number 2, everyone, is the acceptance of the minutes from the March 21st, 2025 meeting. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Executive Davis-Gould. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Browdy. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, we'll go on to roll call. Executive Davis-Gould.
Here.
That's a yes?
Yes.
I'm sorry, yes.
Okay. Ms. Browdy?
Yes.
Mr. Corbin?
Yes.
And Mr. Gary?
Yes.
All right, with 4 yeses, motion carries. Item number 3 is public participation. I'll read a little note here, everyone. Public participation will be supported throughout the duration of the meeting by using the comments function on either YouTube, Facebook, or by emailing myself directly at paul.drummy@harvard.gov prior to or during the meeting. At this time, I'll ask Mr. McCauley if there's anybody online, and then I'll ask Emily and Kelly if there's anybody in the waiting room.
At this time, there are no comments or questions.
Kelly?
There are currently no one waiting in the waiting room, Paul.
All right, thank you, Kelly. Appreciate you. Item number 4 on the agenda, everybody, is administrative items. We have no administrative items on the agenda for this meeting, which brings us to item number 5 on the agenda is current projects under construction. Arcadis, O&G, CNR program management. 5A being action items. 5A1, Buckley High School renovation. Mr. Marcus, please.
Thank you and good afternoon. First item before us is change order number 32 to Newfield for the Buckley High School renovation. Total value of these transactions is $96,718.47. These items have been reviewed and approved by the change order subcommittee, and we ask your endorsement.
Thank you, Jack. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Gary, second.
Second that.
Mr. Corbin, any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to roll call. Executive Davis-Gould.
Yes.
Ms. Browdy.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Corbin
Yes.
and Mr. Gary.
Yes.
All right, with 4 yeses, motion carries. Jack, Vulcan.
Next item before us is a purchase order request to Vulcan Security Technologies. This is for the video surveillance integration for Buckley High School. Vulcan has provided these services for the earlier phases of the project with the Board of Ed office, and we're now asking to bring them back to complete the project. The value of this transaction is $6,480, and we ask your approval, or ask your endorsement of the bid committee's approval.
Thank you, Jack. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Gary, thank you. A second?
Second.
Executive Davis-Gould, thank you. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to roll call. Executive Davis-Gould.
Yes.
Ms. Browdy?
Yes.
Mr. Corbin?
Yes.
And Mr. Gary?
Yes.
All right, with 4 yeses, motion carries. Jack, we have another Vulcan?
Yes, we do. The next item is for Vulcan, also for Buckley High School. This is for integrating the access control system with the system that's already in place from our early phase. Total value of this purchase order request is $6,480. This has also been reviewed and approved by the bid committee, the bid subcommittee, and we ask your endorsement.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is that Mr. Gary?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Corbin?
Mhm.
Any discussion? Looking for my hands up. Hearing nothing, we'll move on to roll call. Executive Davis Gooch.
Yes.
Ms. Browdy?
Yes.
Mr. Corbin?
Yes.
And Mr. Gary?
Yes.
All right, with 4 yeses, motion carries. Move on to a CD presentation. Jack?
Very good. We are at the point in time of purchasing our technology equipment for Buckley High and the central admin elements at Buckley campus. This is a presentation that was given to the Family and Community Engagement Committee earlier in this month, and I'll ask Slam to take charge and lead us forward.
Okay, thank you, Jack. Good afternoon, everyone. Kemp Morehart from the SLAM Collaborative. This is a very brief slide deck just to illustrate what is being asked of you for your approval, so we can go to the state for bid authorization on phase 9. This is our final phase for the project, which we're all happy to have arrived here. It is for technology equipment for both the Buckley High School and the Central Administration Commissary Building and Print Shop. The package includes procurement, installation of classroom AV systems, phones, data switches, wireless access points, and computers for both of the projects. Next slide, please. This just summarizes the previous phases, the status of those, as well as the one that's under consideration today, phase 9 for technology equipment. Next slide, and we have a couple of slides just to show you a visual. It's always nice to see a visual of what these items are. So as an example, the switches up in the upper left for the primary data network throughout the building, example of the phones on the right, and then the wireless access points on the lower left are included in this package. Next slide. And then probably one of the bigger items are the classroom interactive flat panels for the display within each classroom. We are basing it around a 65-inch Q Pro system, which is consistent with the district standard. And I believe that is it for this presentation. Oh, there's one more slide, sorry. There are a few additional printers, 3D printers, as well as some examples of typical laptops and desktop computers that are part of the package as well. And finally, just a budget reminder of where we are. We are pleased that both projects are on budget, and this just illustrates that we still have unencumbered balances on each. Thank you.
So Jack, we're looking for approval from the committee for authorization to present to the state.
Correct. Our action item is to give us permission to submit these documents to the Office of Grants Administration for review and permission to go to bid.
And my next question is, we're approving both A1D and A2B for both the high school and central administration, Jack? For efficiency purposes?
Yes, one action item that would cover both. Yes.
Yeah. All right. My last question, actually, I'll save it for discussion. So is there a motion?
So move.
Mr. Corbin? Second?
Second.
Executive Davis Gooch. Discussion, I'll start if you don't mind. So Jack and team, I see the approval for central administration. I'm curious as to what central administration used when they were there originally, and what would happen to the equipment that they were using while they were there before they moved.
Yes, central administration is the broader category that includes such items as the commissary. These are all district support functions,
Okay.
including but beyond the central office spaces themselves.
Perfect. That makes perfect sense. Any further discussion?
Yeah. Mr. Chair,
Yes,
has this been presented to the school?
Yes,
Leadership?
as Mr. Gary.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing no hands and hearing none, we'll move on to roll call. Executive Davis Gooch,
Yes.
Ms. Browdy,
Yes.
Mr. Corbin,
Yes.
and Mr. Gary.
Yes.
All right, with 4 yeses, motion carries. Next is Burns, Latino. Or no, we have Buckley Central Administration new field change order, Jack.
Yes, we have change order 33 to Newfield regarding the central admin. This is for some additional work in the commissary and print shop areas. The total value is $3,638. This has been reviewed and approved by the change order subcommittee, and we ask your endorsement.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Executive Davis Gooch, second.
Second that.
Mr. Corbin. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to roll call. Executive Davis Gooch,
Yes.
Ms. Browdy, Ms. Browdy,
Yes.
okay. Mr. Corbin
Yes.
and Mr. Gary.
Yes.
All right, with 4 yeses, motion carries. Burns Latino, Jack?
Before us now is change order number 33 to PDS for Burns. Total value of these transactions is $189,101. These have been reviewed and approved by the change order subcommittee, and we ask your endorsement.
Jack, you mind running through a couple of the heavy hitters here?
Heavy hitters, the classroom cubbies in the second floor wing. As you've heard in previous meetings, we were amending the scope when we received our additional funding. The building has not been utilizing the lockers, so we deleted the lockers and we're putting corridor benches in some areas. This is now giving storage within the classrooms through the purchase of cubbies in order to provide student storage in lieu of lockers. The other areas, largest numbers here, the Phase 6 wall finishes. This is where current or the existing construction of the building would not allow conduits to be snuck into the exterior walls. So we're furring out. This is again another area to do the same thing that's been approved on previous construction zones or phases within the building in order to conceal the new electrical work. So it allows the walls to be furred out so that we don't have a sea of conduit there. Those are the heavy hitters. The final item there, swing gates on the driveways. That's to be able to close the site off to vehicles and off hours. And then the kitchen quality tile, rather than the epoxy flooring that was the base bid, food services asked for quarry tile in the kitchen instead. And this is the upcharge to go from the epoxy that we had in the base bid to their preferred quarry tile finish.
Jack? Oh, we can move on to your recommendation.
So again, the total value is $189,101, and we ask your endorsement of the change order committee's approval.
Thank you, Jack. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Okay, Mr. Gary, second.
Second it.
Mr. Corbin. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to roll call. Executive Davis Gooch,
Yes.
Ms. Browdy,
Yes.
Mr. Corbin,
Yes.
and Mr. Gary.
Yes.
All right, with 4 yeses, motion carries. Which brings us to 5B, project reports. Jack, please.
Yes. Our current project status indicates that our budgets and schedules have not changed from the previously approved revisions. Still on track for occupancy in December of 2025. Next slide. Our MBE employment statistics have been consistent. We're still exceeding the minority and women employment on both projects, well above our 15% goal. We're above our Hartford residency target for Buckley and inching ever so slowly forward on our residency requirement for Burns. We should see some improvement there with the summer work when we are able to have some larger crews on site. Next slide. Our budget snapshot to date for Buckley High School, as you saw in the technology presentation, we have about $10 million unencumbered on the high school and about $600,000 unencumbered on the central admin functions. This is consistent with the budgets for both owner contingency and our technology purchases. To date, we've paid about $129,000 on the high school side and received cash back from the state of $101,000. So that's 81% of what's going out the door has come back. Similar towards the central admin functions, out of 24 million, about 19 has come back, almost 19.5, or 82% of our cash flow has been reimbursed to date. Next slide. Some progress on Buckley. You see our electrical room switchgear is in place. We are working on the roof over the pool area. Still doing some work regarding the auditorium roof, so we're not quite as far along as the auditorium. But as you see, that quite a number of trades involved. Quite active on site across the spectrum of trades, working on current activities, both building and site. Next slide. Some images of the fourth floor spaces. We've got science classrooms adjacent to central office that are now shaping up well. We've got site piping with our chiller yard and electrical conduits that's proceeding. And the bottom right image is an image looking towards the football field area from within the building through what will be the fitness area. Next slide. For Burns, we've got about $7.4 million unencumbered. That's improvements yet to be invested in with the additional funding, owner's contingency, and final purchases. We've been reimbursed. About 83% of our cash out the door has been returned through drawdowns from the state. Next slide. And you can see some areas of recent work, epoxy painting over the glazed block that was throughout the building. We've got fresh finishes, moving quite well as we go through the building. We anticipate that all current areas of construction will continue on through the summer. We do have some areas of the main office, not mail office, auditorium and main entry that are moving out throughout the month of April and will slowly become active construction areas. Next slide. Some images of some new flooring. Again, the epoxy painting of the formerly glazed tile, some toilet finishes, and the kitchen area. That blue is not the final finish. That blue is a protective film that's on the fiberglass panels that will be the wall finish within the kitchen itself. Next slide. For our 90-day look ahead, again, very busy on campus with virtually all trades active through the spring and into early summer. Next slide. And for Burns, ramping up again as we work through the remainder of the school year and then have a very active summer anticipated, especially in the areas of the main office and auditorium portions of the building. Next slide. And that concludes our report. Thank you.
You're muted. Paul, you're muted. Sorry.
Thank you, Al. I appreciate you stopping me from rambling. All right, everyone. Item number 6 on the agenda is current projects under construction, Collier's project leaders, 6A being action items, 6A1 being Betances. Ms. Denny?
Good afternoon, everyone. So the first item for review is amendment number 2 to TSKP Studios. This amendment is in regards to some of the retaining wall as well as grading that was required on site for construction access. This included a new plan as well as survey, and this is an amount of $10,000. And this change order amendment has been reviewed by the change order committee, and we're asking for your endorsement on today.
Thank you, Judy. Very succinct. I love it. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Gary?
Yes.
Second?
Second that.
Mr. Corbin? Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to roll call. Executive Davis Gooch?
Yes.
Ms. Browdy?
Yes.
Mr. Corbin?
Yes.
And Mr. Gary?
Yes.
All right, with 4 yeses, motion carries. Judy, next amendment?
Yep. The next one is amendment number 3. This is for some additional costs associated with the changes or revisions to the Hartford Public Schools guidelines and standards. So typically we provide the standards that's provided to us to the design team. Based on our review, there were some efficiencies that we saw of changes that were needed. This included changing the ceiling tiles as well as the door hardware, toilet accessories, as well as modifications to the roofing. And then these was actually tracked on by time and material. I mean, not time and material, but hourly for the design team in an amount of $6,345. This was reviewed and approved by the change order committee, and we're looking for your endorsement on today.
Thank you, Judy. Is there a motion?
Move.
Mr. Gary, second.
Second that.
Mr. Corbin? I'll start discussion here real briefly. So, there were a lot of things that we saw opportunities to save money on this project. The budget was tight, and the value of the redesign, not redesign, we can't say that word, but the extra efforts that the design team put in on these items that Judy just mentioned will save us hundreds of $1,000s on the construction side. So it was well worth having them perform these alterations so we could better mind the project financially. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, we move on to roll call. Executive Davis Gooch?
Yes.
Ms. Browdy?
Yes.
Mr. Corbin?
Yes.
And Mr. Gary?
Yes.
4 yeses, motion carries. Judy?
Great. Next is amendment number 4. This is for the design fee based on an hourly basis for the temporary classrooms, as well as the improvements to the temporary classrooms in the total amount of $51,730. This was reviewed and approved by the change order committee, and we're looking for your endorsement on today.
Judy, is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Gary, second.
Second.
Executive Davis Gooch, thank you. Any discussion?
Paul, do you mind?
No, I don't at all, Al, please.
Please share with everyone about that, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind at all. Judy and Scott, if you can kind of elaborate on this particular amendment.
Yeah, so for this one, in particular for our contract, we reviewed the different phasing, and we were not able to have the turnover spaces for the students and within the building. So typically we find swing space within the building in order to move students around. Unfortunately, we did not have that, so we had to procure for temporary classrooms for this project, and that was not included in the original, what's it called, scope of work. Scott, do you want to add to that?
No, I think that's a pretty good description, Judy.
It was. Yeah, so the short, Al, is
Oh,
when
yeah.
we went out for RFQP, they did not own anything to do with the temporary classrooms.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be somewhat airing it for the public to see why we're paying more for a scope that we didn't anticipate. Yes.
Yeah, of course. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, we'll go on to roll call. Executive Davis Gooch,
Yes.
Ms. Browdy,
Yes.
right? Mr. Corbin,
Yes.
and Mr. Gary.
Yes.
4 yeses, motion carries. Judy, CM change order number 7 for Betances.
Yes, this is for change order number 7 to Downs Construction. This includes PCOs for miscellaneous site revisions based on winter conditions, as well as some requirements based on review from the MDC. And this change order is an amount of $22,019.68. This change order was reviewed by the change order committee, and on today we're looking for your endorsement.
Thank you, Judy. Is there a motion?
So,
Oh, go ahead. Yes, I'm sorry.
We'll give the motion to Executive Davis Gooch and seconded by Mr. Gary.
Thank
Any
you.
discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we'll move on to roll call. Executive Davis Gooch,
yes.
Ms. Browdy.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Corbin
Yes.
and Mr. Gary.
Yes.
4 yeses, motion carries. All right, Judy, Betances LCP tracker.
Yeah, so this is for a purchase order increase for the LCP tracker. This is for the certified payroll that the city of Hartford uses in order to track certified payrolls, as well as to monitor the minorities and women business minorities and women's and minorities participation, as well as Hartford residency. And this is an annual fee for each project, and this is determined based on the project value that is given to the city of Hartford from LCP Tracker. And this proposal is for $4,788.84. This was reviewed and approved by the change order committee, and we're looking for your endorsement on today.
Thank you, Judy. Is there a motion?
Move. Yeah.
Mr. Gary. Seconded by Mr. Corbin. Just real quick on the discussion, Judy, do they have the latest price for Betances?
Yes. Yep. So this is the latest price. This was provided to us from procurement, and that's usually divided amongst the 3 projects.
Well, this one's just for Betances, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and Betances' increase as of late is included in LCP Tracker knows it's 70 and change, the new project, total project cost for.
So that will change. That will be modified based on next year, the number. So the total value for LCP Tracker is based on the project cost and value for it. So every project that comes on, that value will increase. So this is based on this year's value. So next year will be an increase.
Okay. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we'll move on to roll call. Executive Davis Gooch,
Yes.
Ms. Browdy,
Yes.
Mr. Corbin,
Yes.
and Mr. Gary.
Yes.
All right, 4 yeses, motion carries. Next is Kennelly, CM change order number 8.
Excuse me, Paul.
Through you,
Paul.
Mr. Chair, this is Edison. I just joined, but I abstain, having not been part of the discussion.
Okay, all right, good to know you're here. The next one, an abstention it is. Okay. Welcome, Edison. Judy, Kennelly, change order number 8.
Yes, this is to Downs Construction, and this is a no cost to the contingency. This is a part of the allowance. This is for a temporary egress walkway that was put in on Monroe Street for Kennelly. And this total is a zero cost total, and this change order was reviewed and approved by the change order committee, and we're looking for your endorsement.
So moved.
Thank you, Sherry. Second,
Second.
Mr. Gary. Discussion. So, Judy, can you elaborate on the no cost change order?
Yeah, so usually we have the construction manager puts in allowances based on some unknown conditions that might arise. And this was an allowance that was set forth for this particular project. We had to reroute the students on the Monroe Street for egress once we took down that stair tower. So as a result, we had to make some modifications to the temporary egress walkway.
For our allowances,
Is a part of their contract.
it is part of their contract.
Mhm.
Okay.
So there's no additional cost to the contingency for owners or the construction.
Through the chair.
Yeah, I'm.
The state, like all transactions for allowances and contingencies
Mhm.
are preferred to be reviewed as though they were changes so that,
Right.
you know, they can track them for ineligible costs. So the only difference with this item is that, you know, very often we will indicate how much of the allowance might be consumed, but otherwise, you know, this is being presented appropriately.
All right, thank you, Jack. Okay, is there any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we'll go on to roll call. Executive Davis Gooch,
Yes.
Ms. Proudy,
Yes.
Mr. Corbin,
Yes.
and Mr. Gary.
Yes.
Okay, Judy,
This,
with 4 yeses, motion carries. Next one is Kennelly CM change order number 9.
Well, this is
Chairman? excuse me,
Please.
I thought, did you call
No, he
the
didn't.
Silva on the roll?
No.
Is he here?
I'm sorry, Mr. Silva. Edison, I crossed you out on my cheat sheet here. And after my discussion, I lost sight of you. Mr. Silva.
Yes, and I'm still here.
Thank you, sir. With 5 yeses, motion carries. Judy Kennelly, CM change order number 9.
Yeah, so this is a change order. This is for to Downs Construction for the PCO number 31. This is to disconnect and reroute the fire alarm. This was taken out of C and contingency, so there's no cost to the owner's contingency. This is actually recorded in the second line down where it says construction manager contingency that was reduced. And this was reviewed and approved by the change order committee, and we're looking for your endorsement.
There a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Gary? Is there a second?
Second,
Mr. Silva? Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, we'll move on to roll call. Executive Davis Gooch,
Yes.
Ms. Proudy,
Yes.
Mr. Edison Silva,
yes.
right, Mr. Corbin,
Yes.
and Mr. Gary.
Yes.
5 yeses, motion carries. All right, Judy Kennelly, LCP tracker.
Yes, so this is the same as it was for Betances. This is an annual fee for the tracking of the certified payrolls, and this is for the amount of $4,788.85. This was reviewed and approved by the change order committee, and we're looking for your endorsement.
Your motion?
So moved.
Executive Davis Gooch, second.
Second,
Mr. Silva, any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we'll go on to roll call. Executive Davis Gooch,
Yes.
Ms. Proudy,
Yes.
Mr. Silva,
yes.
Mr. Corbin,
Yes.
and Mr. Gary.
Yes.
5 yeses, motion carries. Judy, Wish, LCP.
Yes, last but not least, we have Wish. This is also for LCP tracker for purchase order increase of $4,788.84. And this purchase order increase was reviewed and approved by the change order committee, and we're looking for your endorsement.
Thank you, Judy. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Gary, second.
Second.
Mr. Silva. Any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, we'll move on to roll call. Executive Davis Gooch,
Yes.
Ms. Browning,
Yes.
Mr. Silva,
Yes.
Mr. Corbin,
Yes.
and Mr. Gary.
Yes.
Great, with 5 yeses, motion carries. And next on the agenda, everyone, 6B is project reports. Judy, take it away.
Yep, next slide. So we put all the employee equal opportunity status on one page. We're meeting the minorities and women and workers, and we're exceeding that percentage. We're actually at 73.5 for Latansis, 44.4 for Kennelly, and 93.6 for Wish. Unfortunately, we are at a not meeting the requirements for the 30% for the Hartford residency. As the workforce starts to increase based on the summer work, those percentages will be increased as well. Wish is currently in the process of getting approval for bidding, and when that construction work start, we are anticipating for an increase. For these, they have all been the contractors who are not meeting this goal have been sent out notifications in order to meet, build up their percentages for Hartford residency. Next slide. All right, for Matanzas, we are on budget. We did receive the increase for the budget of 73.4 million. Total encumber is 64.1 million. Paid to date is 5.7. And the encumbrance balance is 58.4 million. Unencumbered is 9.3 million. Total reimbursed submitted to date to the state is 3 million. Reimbursement from the state that we have received is 1.1 million. We have a total percentage of 88.86%, and there is a pending submission to the state. It has been approved for that new submission, and we should be receiving a check to the state, to the city of Hartford soon. And then also for the schedule, temporary classrooms are complete at this moment. We have a few items that have to be closed out for that first phase, and we're currently at 10% of work being completed for phase 2.1. We are still on critical path and on schedule.
Judy, can I ask her a question before you flip the slide?
Yeah, sure.
So in summary, we have about 2.6 approved and coming back to the city with 5.7 paid out. Where's the delta? Where are we with the delta?
Yeah, the delta in difference is based on a construction cost. We did have an increase of construction work, and that was approved after the reimbursement went in. So that will be submitted for the next reimbursement check.
Thank you, Judy.
Mm-hmm. Next slide. These are some pictures of the temporary classrooms and the setup. We also have some pictures of the work that are being completed for the temporary admin on below. This includes electrical work that's being put in, as well as drywall, taping, and painting. And this is for the temporary administrative suite. Next slide. And you can see a lot of work has been started for Batances, the classrooms and support spaces on the fourth, second, and first and ground floor have been undergoing a lot of demolition. This includes removal of the ceiling grid, the baseboard heating panels, as well as a removal of some of the windows. We did get a chance to have facilities go in there to repurpose phones, wireless access points, as well as AC units, door hardware, and other miscellaneous items that the Hartford Public Schools can repurpose in other schools in the district. All right, for April and May and June, we'll continue to do some demolition to the classrooms and support spaces. We also are starting to install the temporary work for the sink inside the temporary nurses space. And we're going to start the work in June for the addition, including backfilling, installing the domestic water lines, as well as electrical in preparation for that addition. So we're on the way for that. Any questions as it relates to Batances? All right. On to the Kennelly. So we're at 88.1 million on budget, and encumbered is 72.8 million. Paid to date is 4.5 million. Total encumbrance balance is 68.3 million. Unencumbered is 15.3 million. Our total reimbursement to date is submitted to the state was 3.7, and we have received a check for 851,000. We were promised from the state that we'll receive a makeup payment. There was some discrepancies in the calculations that they have. So it's currently at 60.6% for reimbursement percentage, and we're expecting that percentage to increase for the next payment. And for the schedule, we are at 25% completion of the temporary classrooms. They're still working on some of the questions that they have with MDC. So that's in progress, as well as addition. The addition is in progress as well at 5%. And we are still on schedule for our critical path. Any questions? All right. Temporary classrooms, these are some pictures of the underground utilities that were installed, as well as the lower left, you can see the relocation of the access fob on Monroe Street. This was previously where the loading dock is, and that's where the addition is going, so they had to be relocated, and they were prepping for the retaining wall. Next slide. These are some pictures of the addition. The first picture to the top left is of the stair tower that was next to the auditorium. In the middle picture, you can see a contractor doing his work to separate the building, the existing building, from the stair tower. In the right top right picture, you can see the stair tower has been removed. And on the bottom, you see the shoring that was put in place for the property on the property line. And they're in the process of hauling off additional soils, as well as conducting test pits. In April, May, and June, we are progressing with temporary classroom work, including excavation for piers, as well as putting up the addition, as well as the retaining wall on the north side, as well as the foundations. And this will continue throughout the summer. Any questions as it relates to Kennelly?
Yeah, community, any issues with the houses that we have a retaining wall abutting their property line, everything going well, communication?
Yes, yeah, so we spoke to the residents. They're okay with the work that was done on the property line. We did have some discussions with a few people had I guess comments based on noise. We were working, the construction team was working within the sound ordinance, the time frame. So we did touch base with that person that had the complaint, and make sure that we address their concerns.
Thank you, Judy.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? All right, next slide. So for Wish, we are on budget at 67.2 million. Total encumbrance is 12.8 million. Paid to date is 6.6 million. Encumbrance balance is 6.1 million. Unencumbered is 54.4 million. Total reimbursement submitted to date is 5.7. reimbursement date is 729. They had calculations wrong for the state, and we will receive a makeup check, and that percentage will go up to 80%. Total reimbursement to date is at 64.7%. 78%.
Judy,
And-
if I may, just to clarify, yeah, two steps here with Wish as far as reimbursement. One is, yeah, they've corrected their database. So again, we expect, as Judy pointed out, that makeup payment to get us up to 80%. The reason it's below the anticipated 88 to 89% is there's a space waiver that's been drafted. We had originally been told by Kermit Thompson that it was approved. As of the end of last week, Kermit had one more comment on the space waiver, so we've modified that. We're going to be getting that letter off before the end of the day today to Sherry and staff for signature. And we anticipate from Kermit's comments that he's approved it. It needs to just go up above him for final approval. And with the approval of that waiver, we should be close to the 90%.
Thank you, Scott. And we currently are on schedule. The phase 1 is completed, and we are at 98% of design. We're waiting on approval for bidding from the state. Next slide. So building demolition is complete. Some geotechnical borings were complete as well. Backfill and compaction. We do have in the picture some hydro seeding that was put down. The job trailer camera security has been installed, and we are currently in the process of closeout for phase 1. Next slide. So for April, we're looking for state approval. And then hopefully the goal is to have the drawings and specifications go out to bid, as well as scope reviews and bidding for May. And we'll be looking for the GMP approval around June, and they'll start the process of contracting. To the right, you'll see a picture of the existing playscapes and some hydro seating on site as well on the bottom picture. Any questions for Wish?
Yeah, with April coming to an end, Judy, we're going out in the next week or so? Is that the goal?
I think because we have to resubmit some documentation to the state, we might be closer to May.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chair, muted. You're muted again, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Gary, what would I do without you? I apologize. Judy, thank you. Item number 7 on the agenda, everybody, current projects and design.
And may I go, Mr. Chair, may I interrupt and go back? I hate to do this, but all the way to the first slide, Judy, all the way back. It was utilization. Well, I'm sorry, not utilization, but Hartford residency. Is there anything being done to negate the contractors from saying, well, we're doing our best effort, that thing? Is there any direction in the assistance that, no, further back.
Go back to your first slide of the presentation.
Yeah, I think it's the second slide for this.
Right. I know we're not making the 30%. What?
Mr. Gary, I'll jump in if that's
sure.
okay with everyone. So yes, the schools are occupied, and we have some small scopes of work where we have contractors coming in and leaving with small crews. But having said that, most of the Betances is probably where the big drop happened. That was due to a out-of-state contractor who came in to set up the classroom. So we have addressed that, but more importantly, we have weekly notices that go out for contractors who are on site, whereas we notify the respective business trades or the business trades that are relevant, as well as the BTTI. So we also address it monthly, as we've mentioned, probably in the past at the LMCC meetings, which is the general meeting of all the trades. And we also address it during the subcontractor meeting. So we're constantly hitting the contractors as well as the resources that we utilize to address our labor needs almost on a weekly basis. I do think once again, with the summer coming and with some of the bigger scopes of work due to mobilize soon, that we should see those numbers go up.
That's great. Thank you so much, Kurt. It's
Yes,
good
sir.
that focus has been placed on the Hartford residency. That's really very important for us to accommodate this. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Kurt. Any further discussion? Not seeing any hands, not hearing anybody speak up. We'll move on to item number 7 on the agenda, everyone. Current projects and design, Arcadis ONG Nutmeg Program Management. 7A being project reports. Mr. Buckus.
Thank you. At present, our budgets and schedules have not changed. We're still working under the original designations, both for cost and timeline. Next slide. For Moylan, we have paid to date about 424,000. We have not done any drawdowns from the state yet, since we're at such an early point in the design. Next slide. For Moylan, we have still been on hold as far as the ultimate design direction, awaiting information from the city. We have been doing some other investigations on site across all 3 of these projects, but again, awaiting direction on which of the 3 design options is preferable to both the city and the district. Next slide. For McDonough, we're a little bit deeper in because we've completed schematic design, about $850,000 spent to date. Again, too early to have begun our drawdowns. Next slide. For McDonough, the direction to do a partial renovation with a replacement of the academic wing was the decision. Those estimates have been performed and reconciled, and we will be asking the state to allow us to go for the originally intended project budget. So each of these 3 projects will have some legislative transactions in the hopper. But as you can see, they're up in the upper portion of that image on the left corner, bottom left. We have a dark blue line there. That is the limits of what is called a flood storage area. Since a small portion of the building encroaches into that flood storage area, into the floodplain, we have a meeting forthcoming with the Flood Commission. We're presently developing civil documents that will be sufficient for their review at a meeting this summer. So that is the only design that's advanced beyond schematics at this point, is to allow the civil to proceed such that it can be reviewed by the Flood Commission. Next slide. For Parkville, we've also continued through the schematic design estimate. About 630,000 spent to date, 0 reimbursement to date. Next slide. The option to, you see the existing footprint and an aerial view, the statistics on the school as it is today in the current design direction is to replace the majority of the building, the academic spaces, while keeping the big box spaces, the kitchen, the gymnasium, etc. Next slide. So we're awaiting the green light to advance that design further. We're also conducting things such as site borings at Parkville at this time. Moylan Elementary School, again, really awaiting the decision on which of the 3 design options will be approved, and then we'll jump into schematic design. Next slide. McDonough, we have as I mentioned, the reconciliation of the estimates has been completed. We'll begin the design development level of the civil so that we can go forward with the flood management evaluation, but we'll be awaiting other DD efforts until we get further through the design, through the legislative period. Next slide. For Parkville, as I mentioned, geotech borings have taken place. We anticipate being able to go to the advisory committee on Parkville in May, and then bring that to you as the HSBC for approval, and then move forward into the design development phase. Next slide.
Great.
And that completes our report. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Any questions? A lot of information here. Seeing no hands, hearing no one speak up. We'll move on to the next item, everyone, which is the item number 8, future projects in development, Batchelder, Sanchez, and Sand. I can say that we were extremely close. So the review forms were signed by the mayor, and now procurement will go through their process to inform the people who submitted. So we're excited. A big shout out to the review committee, Shante Browdy, Executive Davis Gouge, Asha Stapleton from finance. We had a great team. Tom Welcome from Hartford Public Schools as well, and Councilman Clark. All of us working together to evaluate the 6 submissions, and after weeding down to 3 firms, bring them in to interview them. So a lot of time, and I say this a lot since I've been in this chair, is the appreciation for the volunteers, the true volunteers, the ones that aren't getting paid for doing what we're doing now. And that certainly is Miss Browdy, who I thank time and time again for her commitment to her community and giving back in many different ways. Same with Mr. Silva, Mr. Corbin, Mr. Gary. We appreciate you very much for all the time you put in for your community. Any questions on Batchelder, Sanchez, and Sand? Hearing none, we'll move on to our next item number 9, project closeout. So Weaver High School, I would like to have Arcata start moving toward the closeout process and presenting to the Board of Education next month. So I think, one-on-one emails to me asking any questions. I have spoken to certain people about this, but I do think it's time to present, have the Board of Education accept, so we can start the audit and closeout process. And there's a considerable amount of money being held until we go through the audit process that will be returned to the city for future school renovation work. So I did email the committee privately this morning about the fire alarm matter to keep them updated on what we're doing on that end. So I think with that, I'll ask anybody if they have any questions. Seeing no hands, hearing nobody speak up, we'll move on to the next item, everybody, other business. So November of this year, we're hoping, Mr. Corbin reached out this morning. I thought it was a great idea. I do think we, the committee, should start planning on an in-person meeting being held at Buckley. Before they move in, after they move in, these are conversations that I'll have with Executive Davis Gouge and the administration to see what's acceptable and what's not. But I do think it would, with all the hard work this committee has put into this project and going in to see what the results of all this hard work is, would be nice. So the plan, the hope is to have an in-person HSBC meeting in November-ish to see the brand new school before it's handed over. Any questions on that? Seeing and hearing none. Brings us to our last item on the agenda, everybody. Item number 11 is adjournment. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Executive Davis Gouge, get the motion. Mr. Gary has a second. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, we'll go on to roll call. Executive Davis Gouge.
Yes.
Ms. Rowdy.
Yeah.
Mr. Corbin.
Yes.
And Mr. Gary.
Yes.
Mr. Silva.
Yes.
5 yeses, motion carries, everyone. Appreciate you. Have a good day.
Have a
All right,
good day,
thank you.
everybody.
I know.
Bye-bye.